All right, guys. Gonna do this track, and then I'm gonna take a coffee break, and then we got more coming. Okay, here we go. World of Warcraft, Wrath of Leech. Leech? Is it Leech? Like a leech? No, that would be L-E-E. Lich King cinematic trailer. Okay, let's do this. Lich. Okay. So this is a trailer. This is going to be great because music's usually custom written and stuff like this.
My son, the day you were born, the very forests of Lordaeron whispered the name Arthas. Child, I watched with pride as you grew into a weapon of righteousness. Remember, our line has always ruled with wisdom and strength. And I know you will show restraint when exercising your great power.
Here it comes! Okay, I got to stop at one point and just break this down. This is composer's dream gig when you're scoring against something like this. Whereas music that's written, from what I understand so far, unless you're Austin Wintory and something like that, where you have kind of a, whether it's Journey or Abzu or video games like that, where you're wall-to-wall music, it is such a great thing as a composer to be able to write to like a trailer or something like that, because you have to weave your own creativity very carefully between what is really the focus, which would be a narrative, or a lot of sound effects, depending on the kind of trailer. This composer does an absolutely wonderful job of not only giving us and setting us in a dark, mystic, heavy place, but not so heavy at the beginning that it is misleading. It's a fine line. It's what I want to call hell purgatory, a composer hell purgatory type composition. It's a very fine line, but if you get just a little too dark, it's going to take you the wrong way. You don't get dark enough, it ends up being kind of not getting to the point. But that beautiful vocal melody in between the dialogue with some of the counter arrangements. So like there was a beautiful little measure in there where she does, I'm not going to sing her tone, but let's say she does da 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 da. But the horn arrangements go opposite in directions. Da 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 da. You know, something of that nature. So there's that pulling in there, you know, and as a composer and arranger, I have such like, oh, you freaking nailed it, you know. But now remember the core of this is about the trailer, the narrative and everything. So I am, if you see me squinting, I'm not looking at what's going on here. I'm just trying to hear a little more of the music, because by virtue of it being a trailer, what happens to the music? It's going to get set behind effects and then narration, until probably now we're probably going to get a little balls to the walls, heinous heaviness from the composer. I'm going to take it back a little bit so we can get into that piece again without me going yep.
Strength. And I know you will show restraint when exercising your great power.
But I mean, you do hear how the music is very sunk back, right, compared to our usual listening sessions.
Truest victory, my son, is stirring the hearts of your people. I tell you this, for when my days have come to an end, you shall be king.
God, that was great. It's a whole different listening experience for me when I do something like that, because it brings me into that composer mode, you know. So imagine this. Imagine you're the composer, you get hired to do this job, and in a perfect world, they send you this trailer completely edited. You always got to save some room for things that might happen if they extend or shorten a trailer or any piece of, you know, media that you have to write music to. You always have to kind of be aware that what you write might not be the final because they decided to take out 37 frames here or something. And it's as infinitesimal as that might sound, you nudge 6 to 10 frames and you could throw off a whole composition. So, but that being said, you guys, like I mentioned before, you know, it's not the same kind of listen if I was to do it to just like a one-off right from a soundtrack, because it's sunk behind some of all, you know, or all of the effects and stuff in the narration. But this was really dark, villainous, heavy. But some of our, what I would consider hallmark style of arranging, you know, the strings in their ostinatos or in their, you know, for those of you who are not composers, you know, that are the constant or something of that nature is always back there keeping the anxiety moving. I mean, if you think about it, if you didn't have that in an arrangement, those series of arpeggiations, ostinatos, it's on and on and on, use whatever you want. And you level and you layer those, and those tracks will not have the same effect as you might say, well, wait a minute, I hear the big timpanis and all these things, explosions of horns and stuff. Yeah, but if you don't have some essence of something like that in an arrangement to gnaw at you, to kind of keep you moving forward, because that's what it does. It keeps you moving forward. Then it would have a completely different impact. But I love this track. This was fantastic. You know what? I think I've done one World of Warcraft before. Excuse me. And I definitely have got to dive into some more.